Welcome to the No Name Podcast, sponsored by Texsource. Here's your host, Ryan Boland and Mike Hoey.
What's happening, guys? Ryan here with another podcast at What the Print podcast. Still a working name. As always, we have Mike here, our co-host.
Hey, everybody.
And today we have another special guest, Doug Smith. He is our... I'll let you explain yourself. He's from Indiana. You've probably seen on some of these podcasts, we've had a lot of Texsource reps on our podcast. We're kind of interviewing a lot of the family at Texsource, you can call them, or each employee, just getting different viewpoints from every single one. You've met Jeff and Scott and Robin, who are all different salesmen. But this will be a whole different kind of view with Doug. So I will let you introduce yourself, and we'll hit you with some questions.
Awesome, we can do that. So, been with Texsource for almost 10 years now. We moved the Indiana location, used to be in Westfield, Indiana. Moved it up to Fort Wayne in 2016, and
the physical location. Yep.
And it's worked out great. We've great shipping points, a bunch of great next day points.
You've allowed us to. You were originally a salesman with Texsource, and then actually you went in. I don't know all the dynamics, but you run, maintain, and basically own the Texsource in Indiana. I mean, you do, and helped us out. So we went from you being a salesman, to actually taking our branch and moving it to Fort Wayne to kind of, I'm gonna just call it for the viewers to understand simply, is he's owning it, he runs it, and it's worked out really well. So how is Indiana? I haven't seen you. Probably 20. Oh, I got married in 2013.
Yeah, we did the trade show in Indy.
Yep.
Probably it was shortly after I took over, so it was probably 2016, 17, or somewhere around in there, and carried a dryer down the streets downtown.
Up a flight of steps. So in the trade shows, we sold this dryer, the second day, whatever.
The expo there in Indy, right?
But all the trade shows, they don't want you taking equipment out and physically selling or walking in and out the show, right? They want you to wait till the end of the show and all that crap.
Tear it down and
they want to get their union money, whatever. But we physically carried the dryer up the escalator, out the front door of the expo for a customer. A customer pulled up, and I forget what it was. I think it was a little car, wasn't it?
It was. We took some maneuvering to get it in there. Bunch of looks and stares.
Yes.
I think at one point one of us actually had to stop traffic to get them on there too. But whatever it takes to make it convenient for the customer and take care of them, and that's.
Yeah, it's always good to get that equipment, the demo equipment off the floor, and you don't have to haul it all the way back.
That's what I was saying. It was convenient for the customer, but it was actually convenient for us because you have to take it back.
I've went to almost every one of those in the convention center over there in Naptown, as they call it, up north.
Didn't you just move to a new spot, or you're going to move to a new spot in Fort Wayne?
We did. We're still looking for a bigger spot, but it was kind of we were outgrowing our old one, and with the market the way it is and everything, it's just there's not a lot available. So we kind of had to take what was available at the time. But we're currently looking. Hopefully, we can get a bigger location. We don't offer classes right now in the Indiana location, but that's something we definitely want to get with a bigger location.
Yeah, when you start doing those classes, I'll have to make sure they send me up there so I can give you a hand so that I can visit my fellow Hoosiers up there.
Yep.
It's good having a Hoosier down here. So you haven't been down here in years. They just keep you up north, huh?
Yeah, I think it's been 7 years. I think we talked about earlier since I've been down here. A lot has changed down here. A lot of good changes.
What's going to be good about classes? It says Mike teaches. We're doing artwork classes. Every screen printer wants to learn artwork, and they want to learn it in depth and detail. So we got the 3-day class that Mike's going to be teaching strictly artwork. So the class that you're going to see tomorrow, Wednesday, is actually a hands-on class. It's not much artwork at all, but what's going to be great and what Mike's saying about classes is in Indiana, when you get a bigger spot and have the space for it, that 3-day class for artwork's going to be crazy.
Yeah, because that seems to be the missing link
I
that
hate
a
it.
lot of screen
I
printers,
hate artwork.
when they get into the business, if you're weak on the art side, that really holds you back from opportunities if you can't, do separations. And so
But that's good to know. You want classes up here, so that's going to be a good addition.
Yeah, and artwork is something that I kind of am somewhat ignorant about. Know a little bit to be dangerous, but it's nice to have someone
I know
on our team that is well versed and able to explain and do it.
I know absolutely nothing about artwork. I never will. I will never try. I never want to.
he's coming to the class.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the class. I refuse.
You need the missing link so that your pie doesn't have this slice missing out of it. You'll never win the Trivial Pursuit without that last pie piece.
No, never happened. How's the market there versus here? I mean, I'd assume it's generally the same in Indiana versus here, but I mean, what's some of the inks you see up in Indiana, or what's some of the main things you see there versus here? I mean,
So, of course, we sell a lot of different lines of inks. Starting to see a lot more, especially with the different, shirts and everything. A lot of people are going to or looking at more low cure temp inks.
it's probably easier to sell in Indy. It's colder there, right? I mean,
It is.
I
It
mean,
is. It's not as cold as you guys make it out to be here, but it's.
It gets cold up there. I'm sure that he'll agree that sometimes during the winter in Indiana, you go out and you can't see your windshield wipers because they're embedded in ice like flush, and then there's snow on top of that. It's
Yep.
why I moved to the Carolinas.
So you're from Indiana?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know exactly where he's up 27 in Fort Wayne up there. It's a pretty good far drive, or pretty good drive from where I'm from. But yeah, I left the cold, and it was a 10-year plan. When my kids graduated from high school, my wife and I were like, yeah, we're both on board. So I've been in the Carolinas ever since.
Carolinas is my wife and I have talked about this. If we ever moved anywhere else, it would probably be in the Carolinas. You get a good mix. You're not super hot.
Yeah.
it's not totally cold in the winter. So
You just have to learn some of the terminology that they have down here in the South, like My Dakota, and they call shopping carts buggies.
yep,
So
fixing.
yeah, yeah.
Got to get it fixed.
I'm fixing to whoop your ass. But yeah, I'm so far. I've only said y'all a handful of times, and that's pretty good. I've been down here for a few years now, so.
Not bad.
How long you been here?
Well, I started in North Carolina and bounced around, and finally got the last 7 years in the upstate of South Carolina, and then probably North Carolina. Need to get up here close to work, so I don't have that drive on 85.
So back to the Indiana branch. Are you ever looking to get salesmen up there? Or are you you got different plans? I know what your major plan is, upgrading to a larger shop. And
Yeah, we're looking to get some feet on the ground up there. It's something that I used to do, but when taking over, I kind of did a lot more of the day-to-days and everything there. But it's something that we're looking at definitely for the future.
yeah, that'd be good. It's always good to be able to go see your customers. I mean, Mike, his background is all American, or was a major, Badger, Adidas, all American. So he's been in the trenches forever. So salesmen are always really helpful.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure. Especially when the bigger accounts, you're going to need those. But also, Texsource, they help the little guy out. So those guys that can get in with people early can see the ones and nurture them to the point where they're growing. And that's kind of what attracted me to this company to begin with, is that they'll handle anybody of any size, and a lot of companies just sort of drive on by unless
Yep.
you're buying 10,000 a month from them. And it's not the screen printing community. it's a community. So even when I've been in shops, if somebody calls and needs a gallon of white, you're going to help them out. It's kind of a cool way to handle your business where we all help each other out.
What's some of the main equipment you see up there? Is it strictly because in Georgia it's strictly M&R? It's everywhere. What's some of the stuff you see in Indiana? A lot of.
So we see a lot of M&R as well, of course. Basically anywhere in the world, you get see blue. We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, so we're only about 3 hours from Chicago. So makes sense. There's a lot of M&R, but we also see a lot of Workhorse, a lot of Aztecs, Rock.
Yeah, I mean that's a quick drive. I mean, especially to go see the M&R factory. That'd be pretty cool.
Yep, definitely.
Workhorse. I mean, it's Arizona, so there's no point in going there.
Yeah,
So, I visited once, and it's a pretty nice shop. But
yeah, it is the Bergman Group.
Yeah.
Those are they're good guys, and they have a nice place down there. They live about 5 miles from my folks down there, so I've been to their plant. It's pretty cool.
So you've I've completely drawn a blank what I was going to say.
Uncomfortable silence.
Yes.
I literally was about to say one thing and I completely forgot about it.
We're going to ask him who he thinks killed buckwheat.
No.
I don't know if the mic picked that up, but
I literally drew a blank after you were talking about Bergman Group. I have no clue what I was going with.
Well, being in, we're fellow Hoosiers, so I noticed when he came in that he had the Purdue logo on. So if you're from Indiana, you're either for Purdue or you're for IU. So first thing I said was, I see you got the per don't on there, just because it would have been the other way around if it was wearing IU.
Is that the college that was where Texsource used to be in Indiana? I mean, when I went and visited a couple of times, there was a college town close by. Wasn't it like 30 minutes away?
So in Indianapolis, I mean, Lafayette, where Purdue's at, that's about an hour. And an hour south, you have IU. And then, but downtown Indianapolis is IUPUI.
I went somewhere with Stephen Grant was there,
and
we went to it wasn't really something like a college town. Went to a nice pizza joint, and it was the Chicago style pizza. That was.
And Butler's there too, which has a national, and they've got a nice campus. It's a smaller school, but they've got a national.
I'm talking about the pizza. The pizza was banging. It was really, really good. I always remember that.
Yeah. It will strike your memory for sure. But yeah, a lot of corn up there in Indiana.
Lots of corn.
Yeah.
Lots of flat land.
Yeah, Indiana's flat, and then once you get south of Indianapolis, then you start seeing the hills of Brown County and all that. But it's a great state, and there's screen printers are everywhere. But Fort Wayne's got its location. You can serve Indy, Chicago, even down in Dayton, Columbus, Ohio. So it's really, that's why Indiana is called the Crossroads of America, because US 70 rips right through Indianapolis, right through Indiana. So it's really a great location for us to have our products sitting on the shelves waiting to ship.
You said it's the Crossroads? What did you say?
Yeah, the Crossroads of America. That's one of our, what do you call it? Like monikers or something.
Yeah.
It would be good to get, once you get to in your new spot and set up, to get a video of your location, because we have one of Georgia, one of North Carolina that we kind of, I don't know if it's posted on our YouTube, but it'd be good to get one of Indiana as well, so people can see.
We can do that.
That'd be nice to see.
Yeah, next time I vacation up, I'll run up to his thing and take a camera up there.
Yeah, I think Fort Wayne is rated probably, pretty high up in, vacation destinations if you want to go in the United States.
I've been up there one time to Fort Wayne, and that was to pick up somebody from jail. So I know where it's at.
Yeah, hopefully it wasn't me.
No, it was my brother.
But we were talking about the how cold it is up there. Yeah. I'm sure you got a lot of emulsion issues when you're shipping out. I mean, What do you do?
So we usually, so if it's super cold Fridays, we try not to send anything out on Fridays, so it sits on the truck or in the UPS hub over the weekend. But if it's an overnight, and weather's not too bad, we usually don't have too many issues with it. I always let the customer know that we'll ship it out if they want us to. But if it, it's a rock, when it gets to them, anytime it leaves the facility, people think sometimes that we have control over it. Once it goes out on UPS or FedEx, it's out of our hands.
Is emulsion the one product that kills you? I mean, water base would freeze too, right? I would think.
Yeah, there's certain chemicals too that will freeze as well. So you just kind of I always try to, when it starts getting kind of cold, let my customers know, hey, maybe you should stock up a little bit. And
kind of like what Chromeline does to us. They'll send us a mass email, and I think it's August or September. They'll send us an email because they know we're going to buy a lot of stock. And I think we ordered 3 months worth at a time from Chromeline's from Minnesota, I think.
Wow.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I'm sure it's a lot colder in Minnesota than Indiana.
It is. It is. I've never been there, but I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indiana's just cold enough to make you leave forever.
Yeah. You get about a month and a half that it gets pretty rough. But other than that, it's not too bad.
Yeah. It's just humid and,
All right. Well, so what do you think about the name? I'm getting tired of talking about it. So I'm really going to leave it at no name or
what the screen print.
He had another one that was taken by somebody else. So what's your opinion? We've asked Scott his opinion. We'll ask a few more people their opinion. So what do you think about what the screen print? It's kind of like I'm saying, and my thought process is, well, why are we screen printing? What the heck's going on? Why the hell am I here? So my thought was, what the screen print with Texsource or something like that.
That's not too bad. I mean, I'm not a very creative guy. Some of the names that I may come up with may not be appropriate.
Yeah.
But
They'll use it.
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah, the shirt show was already taken. I thought that was clever right from the get-go, but those guys have been around a while. So
that are printing ain't easy, and have some old guy with like instead of a cane, a squeegee holding it up, kind of an old.
Instead of keep on trucking, keep on printing.
Keep on printing.
Mr. Natural.
Yeah. Well, that's all the time we have for the day. Appreciate you hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
We're
very first podcast, so
yeah.
You're going to be famous now.
I should. Famous.
People will stop you on the street. It happens. You'll get used to it.
What we're doing is we're doing podcasts with all the employees, salesmen, just to get a little good bankroll going, and just get opinions from all the different salesmen. I mean, it's each person sells differently. Each person runs differently. Some people might like this piece of equipment versus this one. So we're trying to just interview all of them, talk to them, see what they think, get the knowledge from them, and put it out there.
Yeah, I'm still mind blown by Jeff that actually repairs spot guns.
Yeah.
I mean, God, that's crazy, man. I mean, that's been a problem for 30 years in my life.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's like, I repair them. So I was like, hell, yeah.
Yeah. But, appreciate you joining, Mike.
Yeah, it was good having you here, man.
Yeah,
I'll come up there
again.
to Indiana next time I'm up there for sure.
Maybe a podcast on the road.
Yeah. Yeah, on the road.
I don't know how that would work, but
It would be audio only, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right. Thanks for joining. See you.
Peace out.